This is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
Let's get ready to rumble! Oh, and we are back, and we are live, ladies and gentlemen. This is the value of wrestling. This is the weekly roundup, and we should be live. Yes, live. Maybe. Why are we not showing that we're live? Oh, there we go. There we go. Hopefully you're joining us. Come on in. Come on in. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, the Value of Wrestling right here on YouTube. This is the weekly roundup. I'm here. You know who I am. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's me. It's me. And I'm better than you. And you know it. The Big Tyme. Of course, next to me, my partner in crime for many, many years, my buddy, the founder of the Value of Wrestling, the one, the only,
Paulus Clarke.
And of course, we've got the master of New Japan Pro Wrestling, our third member of this panel, the know-it-all of New Japan, the one, the only,
Miguel Z.
Are we having too much fun today?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Don't get all choked up now. Let's see here.
Oh, no.
I gotta get back to the top of my notes real quick. And it still seems like we're live, so that's a good thing. Let's get up here. Weekly roundup. It is the week of 9/9/23. What a week in wrestling. Not a whole lot. It was kind of a week. Some good stuff, some bad stuff, some more crazy stuff. But we'll get into that a little later on. But let's start off hot with some Monday Night Raw.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I don't even know if that's PG.
Exactly. Anyways, we opened the show with Jey Uso, the newest member of the Raw roster. He came down and said that even though he's only been on TV off of TV for 3 weeks, he still missed everybody. He knows a lot of people in the back are not going to be real happy that he's there, and that he has a lot of making up or peace talking to do. Hopefully, he doesn't go CM Punk in that locker room, but we'll wait and find out.
Oh.
This, of course, brings out Sami Zayn. We get Sami Zayn coming out to the ring. And Sami says he wants to tell Jey to his face that he's proud of him from leaving Roman Reigns in the bloodline, that he's glad that he's on Raw. And Sami offers Jey a handshake, and he declines and says that wasn't very Usi of me. So we're back to the Usi, and we get a big old hug. This eventually led us into Drew McIntyre. This led us into Drew McIntyre coming down to the ring and kind of having a stare down with Jey Uso as he was leaving. And we got introduced to the Drew McIntyre Matt Riddle Tornado Tag Match. And of course, after Drew came out, Riddle came out, and he's not real happy with Jey Uso either. So that's what we got. Sami, of course, trying to pay Peacemaker, and if you hear thunder in the background, well, hey, weather happens. That is life. Exactly, and the thunder rolls. And no follow-up. I'm left to hang out there all alone.
Oh,
that's
there you go.
Okay. All right, so Adam Pearce is back talking to Ricochet backstage. When Seth Rollins appears, Adam seems to be upset that Rollins is there, says he doesn't need to be there. They have a back and forth. Even Ricochet says, I respect what you do, but you really don't need to be here. Anyway, so we finally get the Viking Raiders in the ring, and we finally get to have a tornado tag match. Oh, yeah, you know it. It was a good back and forth match. It's what you expect. Eventually, the Viking Raiders pick up the win after Kofi Kingston tries to get involved and attack the Viking Raiders, but actually hits Riddle with the Trouble in Paradise. We get a Ragnarok through a table, and the Viking Raiders pick up a win for once on Raw. Not always happening, but it does happen sometimes. From there, we got a video package. We got a video package briefly runs through the history of the Ring General Gunther and Chad Gable, which will be our main event match for tonight. I know somebody who's happy with the winner of that match, but we'll get to that momentarily. Seth Rollins heads to the rings and calls out Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura comes out. Rollins offers him a world title championship match on the spot, and I think for the only time in real history, he said, no. Yes, Nakamura declines. Seth Rollins runs down the ramp to beat him up, and officials and Ricochet to come out and break it up. And Nakamura is set to face Ricochet, but Nakamura does not want to fight Seth Rollins on his terms. So we will have to wait and see. Nakamura looking freaking damn good for once. Like, we have not seen this Nakamura, this kind of Nakamura since ever. I don't think we've really seen him in this type of Nakamura in WWE. We've seen a really good Nakamura in NXT and with Sami Zayn. But that was kind of a neutral, like, we're getting this really good, strong heel is what I'm really referring to. And we just haven't seen this type of in-depth character.
Like
Nakamura came. Oh, yeah, I'm loving it. It's just the Nakamura we got in NXT was Nakamura and what we wanted, and then he just kind of fizzled. But now it's like we're getting a little bit, something different from Nakamura that I hope continues. Pierce reprimands Rollins backstage for starting issues, and we get Ricochet and Shinsuke Nakamura. Yes, Ricochet wins by disqualification. This began brawl outside with Shinsuke Nakamura took a steel chair and hit Ricochet across the back for the DQ. Rollins comes back down to save Ricochet, and they start brawling again. Seth is takes out security, dives at Nakamura. They brawl outside. Nakamura throws Rollins back into the back first into a steel chair. Ricochet grabs the steel chair and chases Nakamura away. So we are looking like the feud between Shinsuke Nakamura and Seth Rollins will continue. Yes. So we get a backstage segment with Mr. Senior Money in the Bank, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, and they are watching what's going on, and she tells him not tonight because Seth Rollins is down, but telling him, no, you don't need to cash in tonight. So we get a recap of the Becky Lynch Trish Stratus match and the aftermatch of Trish and Zoe Stark. Stark's in an interview with Jackie Redmond about the potential ending of her partnership with Trish when Shayna Baszler shows up and says that Zoe should have gotten rid of the deadweight a long time ago. And Zoe challenges Shayna Baszler to a match for later tonight. So we get Shayna Baszler versus Zoe Stark. Gonna happen. Judgment Day heads down to the ring. It's all love between all four members as they brag about their accomplishments now that they are carrying all the gold, kind of. Ripley says she's irritated by Jey Uso appearing at Monday Night Raw and people are talking about the bloodline. J.D. McDonough comes down and interrupts. The other members of Judgment Day who are not Finn Balor still have problems with him. He continues to try to win their good graces by handing Damian Priest a new Money in the Bank. He says, yes, you need to get rid of that Money in the Bank. It's bad. And he brings out a new Money in the Bank. And instead of saying Mr. Money in the Bank, it's a purple briefcase that says Senor Money in the Bank. Sami Zayn interrupts and calls the group a bunch of turds. Because, you know.
I don't even know if that's PG.
But hey. Maybe that's the safe word there. Calls the group a bunch of charity challenges. Dominic, Dirty Dom, the man who can't find a bar of soap to save his life, to a match. But J.D. McDonough speaks up and offers to wrestle Sami Zayn instead. So we're going to get Sami Zayn versus J.D. McDonough in a match later tonight. We get another video package of the Intercontinental title match, followed by a promo from the Ring General Gunther. Raquel Rodriguez, who doesn't look like anything, I mean, she does not look like a challenge, but she's in the back in Adam Pearce's office.
You got to turn around, bro.
Yep. I'm kind of sitting, so it's kind of hard to do all that.
You got to turn around and do it.
Oh, Lord.
I missed something. I missed something. Anyway, Raquel Rodriguez is in Adam Pearce's office. They agree on something undetermined, I guess. Chelsea Green comes in and it's announced that Piper Niven is not medically cleared. So I guess you don't want to tag team with Chelsea Green because, well, you're going to wind up on the shelf and not be able to defend your women's tag team titles. And there is news coming out of somewhere that they are going to be stripped of the women's tag titles. The women's tag titles may be getting stripped. Why? Don't know all the details. Something that just recently came around on the pipeline. We'll keep our ear to the ground to find out more information on that. Adam suggests that maybe Chelsea is the one that's cursed instead of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champion. Chelsea goes off on Raquel for being a loser. Raquel is, of course, standing right behind her, and a match is made between the two of them later tonight. So all the matches for tonight are getting booked tonight. Always fun. Always lovely. Shayna Baszler beat Shoni Shark. They fist bumped after the match as a sign of a begrudging respect. Not a whole lot to talk about. Good match. Both women look good coming out of it, but nothing to really write home about it.
But one of the things I do like is the fact that Shayna Baszler is kind of being positioned as a face without losing the badass attributes.
Yeah, as long as they don't.
She was like that before that all happened. Before Ronda came, right?
No,
complete badass, but
yeah, well, she was a heel badass, but not. She's gotten better since breaking away from Ronda. Like, there's more like she's back to kind of what she should have been, and hopefully getting where she should be. You know, we get Judgment Day in the locker room. Finn Balor says it's time to bring JD into the group officially. Damon says he needs to prove himself first. Ripley wants to see how things go later when he faces Zayn. Priest and Balor leave, but Ripley holds Dom back and tells him that he must ensure everything goes according to plan. Ooh. We get Raquel versus Chelsea Green, and I don't even know why this was a match. And, of course, I guess it's just going to continue the story for Raquel to look strong, but I don't know. Raquel needs to go away and do something different, repackage, go heel. I don't know. Raquel Rodriguez then announces that she spoke to Adam Pearce and that they both agreed and that she will be facing Rhea Ripley in a Women's World Championship match next week with Dom barred from ringside. So we'll see how that plays out. We're going to get another women's title match on a Monday Night Raw, not building to a pay-per-view. I don't think we have anything scheduled for Fastlane yet. But yeah, so we're getting Raquel and Rhea Ripley on Monday Night Raw. We get a third Intercontinental Champion history package, and it's followed by a promo from Chad Gable saying he's going to add to his legacy tonight. And then we get Mr. I Am Awesome. The Miz heads to the ring to address the WWE Universe. So we get that wonderful commercial break, and then we get a recap of the early incident between Kofi Kingston and Matt Riddle. Drew McIntyre goes looking for Kofi. Riddle tries to calm him down. They're in the back. They're in the locker room. We got a recap of it. Then we're in the locker room where Drew's looking for Kofi. Riddle's trying to calm him down. He says he thinks very calm and considers all that's happened tonight. He's not happy about Jey Uso being on Monday Night or what happened with Kofi Kingston earlier. He confronts Kofi. Drew McIntyre confronts Kofi. McIntyre says it's going to be wary. He's going to be wary for the moment because of accidents. It seems like a lot of accidents are happening. So we get this continued build of a possible McIntyre heel turn. We have to wait and see how that goes. So we get the Miz interviews John Cena, sort of. It's the invisible John Cena from WWE 2K24. Yes, the You Can't See Me John Cena. Miz says for the past 18 years he's not only been able to see John Cena, but he's been able to see right through him. He asked John Cena what LA Knight paid him at WWE Payback, or if he was purposely screwed over. A lot of chants from the crowd, which the Miz, of course, doesn't like. At least it's better than tiny balls, whatever, right? The Miz says the magic WWE Payback says the WWE the match from WWE Payback should be stripped of the records. The Miz starts arguing and then decides to fight with an invisible John Cena, who actually manages to back him down. This gets a holy shit chant from the crowd. The Miz hits the invisible Cena with a skull-crushing finale, and then he challenges LA Knight to another match. The Miz says LA Knight in his fairy tale is as real as an imaginary John Cena, and he's going to send it all crashing down because he's the Miz, and he's awesome. Yeah. So we're going to get the Miz, LA Knight again.
Crashing down and hurts inside.
And we'll see how that all plays out. Adam Pearce runs into Jey Uso backstage. He tells him that SmackDown has to get an equal trade for him coming to Monday Night Raw, and people will not be happy with him afterwards. Tommaso Ciampa then approaches Adam to finish the conversation they were having. JD McDonough beats Sami Zayn. Dominic Mysterio shows up to distract Sami long enough for JD to get him rolled up with an added leverage by holding onto the tights. JD McDonough goes over. Zayn attacks Dom and uses an exploder to send Dominic into the corner after the match. Zayn goes for the Helluva Kick, but McDonough saves Dominic and tells him to leave. Zayn returns to the ring and delivers the Helluva Kick to gain a little revenge on JD McDonough. Anyways, Dominic Mysterio tries to recruit Uso into Judgment Day and said they're not so different. They both come from broken families. Dominic is trying to compare himself to Jey Uso. Main event, Jey Uso at that. Yeah.
Because he understands. He knows what it's like.
He knows nothing. He's a booch. Oh.
Yeah, Dominic issues. Daddy issues.
Anyway.
You don't have that.
Yeah. The only issues Jay may have about Daddy would be his daddy sitting on him, and that would be the only thing I'd be worried about there. Cody Rhodes will return next week to Monday Night Raw. Finally, we get the main event match. We get the Intercontinental title on the line against Gunther, your ring general Gunther versus Chad Gable. In their second match here, Gunther going to beat the longest record in Intercontinental history in the WWE, or will Chad Gable upset him with a Honky Tonk Man remain the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion? Well, Gunther is defending after the big match intros, beautiful big match intros too. And we get a classic match. We get headlocks, we get backups, we get beautiful drop kicks, we get back to fourth. Just a beautiful match. The big boot, and Gunther unloads to the corner. We get some kicks. Back again, Gable with a reversing a powerbomb into Haruna Karana. To the floor. Gunther kicks him down and goes up, only to have Gable run the corner for a suplex. The ankle lock is broken, but Gable suplexes his way out of a sleeper. Rolling chaos, and Theory gets to... What? Why do... Oh, no. Rolling chaos Theory. There we go. I broke that up. Rolling chaos Theory gets to. The grapevine ankle lock goes on. That's broken up as well. Gunther gets in the sleeper with the broken up. Gunther hits a sleeper suplex and then into a powerbomb, hitting him with a devastating clothesline. And Gunther retains. The Intercontinental Champion is now the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in WWE history. And, yeah. That was Monday Night Raw.
I got a question. Who would take a chop from Gunther? I mean, honestly, would you pay to have him chop you in the chest just once?
I'd do it.
How much money are we talking?
I don't know, because that's one of those. That's like I have a list of bumps I'd never take, and getting chopped by him, it's very questionable.
I already know I'm going to be in the hospital, so it's got to be enough to pay my hospital bill and.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, yes, so that was Monday Night Raw. That is what happened on Raw. Gentlemen, do you have anything you'd like to add to a basic Monday Night Raw? I see the dog, and I just had to hit the bell. I mean, it was just too perfect.
She hopped up here because she's been pawing at my leg, and I'm like, hey, no, come on. All right, let's get down. Come on, dog.
So
I got to finish this up.
I'm interested to see what they continue to do with Jey Uso, how they continue to build him.
Well, right
obviously
now,
they're keeping Sammy.
Go ahead.
Obviously, they're keeping Sammy as a top character, a top act. And I'm just very happy that Honky Tonk Man's record was broken.
Finally.
Yes, we know.
I got
never guessed that one.
I got one, and I'm starting to see it. There's a little bit of dissension in Judgment Day. I've seen a few different articles saying that we're starting to see who the real leader of Judgment Day is, and it's not.
Word.
It's not Balor or Priest, and I'm totally fine with that.
No, it's
Mommy,
it's
if you hear me, I'm okay with it. Totally okay with it.
It doesn't matter what you think.
Oh, you walked into that one. But anywho, no, I definitely think we're seeing great things. Sammy, I think they're going to keep strong. I don't know what they're going to do with Kevin and how that's all going to play out. And yeah, I think they've got to build Uso to be strong on his own. And of course, yes, we know Judgment Day is going to collapse. How it's going to collapse, I don't know. I'm assuming that Damian Priest is going to go babyface and be the one that gets kicked out. So they're making it look like Balor is going to be the guy, but I think there's more to it than we're seeing so far.
I think I would like to say, I mean, first off, I enjoy seeing Dom as the chicken shit heel still. I'm enjoying that. That man can't get out a single word if his life depended on it.
No shoot. No shoot.
If there's anything that's magical about that group or supernatural, it's Dom's heat drawing power.
No, yep. Well, that was Monday Night Raw. I think it covers everything. And now, let's jump into AEW Dynamite. AEW Dynamite kicks off with Orange Cassidy kicking off the show and says that they told him to stay home, but even though he lost the champion, he's going to be here every week. And then we hear Wild Thing hit through the PA, and Jon Moxley comes through the crowd to defend his newly won International Championship match. And he's going to take on AR Fox Knight. Jon Moxley eventually wins, and Jon Moxley retains the International Championship. If you think anything was going to happen, well, I don't know what you were smoking. After the match, Darby Allin was out to check on AR Fox when suddenly on the video wall, Christian approaches Nick Wayne about his potentially being his mentor. Christian also insulted Buddy Wayne and told Nick Wayne to say hi to his mother for him. So we're going to continue storyline with Darby Allin, Luchasaurus, Christian Cage, Nick Wayne, all types of interesting. AR Fox playing whatever role he's in there. I don't know. Will Nick Wayne join Christian Cage? I don't know. There's a lot of teasing there that could be really, really interesting. From there, we get the... Whoops. Now I hit buttons and do stupid things. Now we're back. All right. We get Chris Statlander defending her TBS championship against Sakura. And, yeah, Chris Statlander wins. Because what else is there to do? From there, Roderick Strong talks about his tough upbringing. Oh my God, I'm so tired of it. In his vignette, and says he will win the Grand Slam tournament, and slams Adam Cole for knowing that he was all alone for such a long, so much of his life. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think Roderick Strong is looking more pathetic, and I guess if that's what you're trying to make that character, but I'm just kind of over the crybaby Roderick Strong, the boo-hoo, poor me, whoa, gag me. Anyways. Don Callis came out and said on commentary for the next match, we got Les Sex Gods, Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara facing off against Aussie Open, Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis. Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara, the Les Sex Gods win. Afterwards, Jericho and Sammy Guevara got into a shoving match with each other and had to be separated by security because of some miscommunication during the match. Ricky Starks is here and says that there's not a man alive who can make him submit, and has announced that Bryan Danielson will have some words to say on Saturday's episode of AEW Collision. You know it. Renee Paquette interviews Don Callis and Takeshita. Don says that next week they're going to celebrate their victory over Kenny Omega, and they will also announce the next target for Takeshita. MJF is out to address the Indiana crowd. Max says he's excited to wrestle at AEW Grand Slam in New York City. He's eventually interrupted by Samoa Joe. Max says he's excited to wrestle at Grand Slam in New York City, and he's wrestled by... Okay, yeah, we repeated notes. Cool. Now, that's why you don't read notes sometimes. Anywho. After some fightful fat jokes and dick jokes back and forth, Samoa Joe repeatedly calls Maxwell a kid. Max then tells a story about when he did a security for Samoa Joe at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. Max threatens to send Samoa Joe back to NXT like he did William Regal if he keeps messing with him. Max says if he keeps it up, he will kill Samoa Joe because he's MJF and better than you. Joe says he didn't think Max was a kid in 2016. He thought he was a little bitch. And Max responds by slapping Samoa Joe. Joe says he refuses to take the bait, but that he will go through the entire Grand Slam tournament and face MJF at the end. Joe then attacks Max by kicking the middle rope into his groin. Joe holds up the World Championship and he gets punched in the balls by Max. The fight is on, but a Samoa Joe Uranage quickly stops it. Joe goes for the Muscle Buster, but Adam Cole comes down to make the save for his Ring of Honor Tag Team partner. Max is helped out by medical and is complaining about his numbness in his arms and the pain in his neck. Samoa Joe says next time he's going to tear MJF apart. Adam is walking out with Max when Roderick Strong's Adam! 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 Oh, yes, we know. The bitch cry. Oh, my God. They have a confrontation. They have a confrontation as Roderick is walking down to the ring, still in the neck brace for his tournament match against Trent Beretta. Adam! Anyways, Grand Slam World Title Eliminatory Qualifier. Roderick Strong beats Trent Beretta, and he moves on. For safety purposes, the Kingdom put Roderick's neck brace back on after the match because, you know, got to protect that match even after you wrestled in it. Then we get the great backstage segment with Renee and Toni Storm about her recent action and tells her that she will be involved in a four-way match to determine the next person who will challenge Ray for the Women's Championship, and utters some mindless numbness about something that I don't know. Adam Page comes out to talk about his future. He's interrupted by Swerve Strickland. Swerve Strickland mocks Hangman for how much his career has fallen. Hangman offers to fight Strickland in the match. Strickland insults Hangman's family, and Brian Cage attacks Hangman Page from the back. Finally, we get to the other main event and the other Grand Slam World Title Eliminator match. Darby Allin versus buddy and friend Nick Wayne. And Darby Allin picks up the victory. Christian Cage shows up halfway through the match and decides that he wants to be on commentary. After the match, he joked that Darby might not make it to Saturday night, where he will now be facing Roderick Strong. And ladies and gentlemen, that was Dynamite. And it was fairly good Dynamite. I don't think it was a great Dynamite. It was a little lackluster. It kind of flowed, but, you know, we're moving on in the tournament. Everything else was just kind of, it is what it is. Thoughts, gentlemen?
I got a question for you, gentlemen. What do you find worse? What do you find worse? Roderick Strong's Adam or Riddle's Randy?
Roderick's Adam! Adam!
He sounds like someone's ex-girlfriend who's like sad and heartbroken.
Adam! I mean, all he has to do is be like, Daddy! Daddy! Only because Roderick Strong has been more impressive and now he looks like a total sissy bitch. Riddle, it just kind of fits his character. Randy! I need my Randy! I want to get Randy with Randy!
Can someone please take... 1990 called, we need to take that neck brace gimmick back.
Jeez. I don't know. I just, the Adam Cole thing, it doesn't do, Roderick Strong, it just doesn't do anything. It's just like, I want to punch him in the face. Like, I'm just like, stop it. I get good heel beat movement, but this is just horrible. Adam! Oh my God. And then the whole, my life was so hard and so miserable. I'm like, bitch, how many more people had that same shit? Like, really? You know, but you're on TV and I'm like, sometimes I get real stories of work, but sometimes it's just like, you know what? You got to be real careful with the heel because you're just going to get people pissed off. Like, really?
They need to have a segment with him laying on a couch and a therapist talking to him.
Oh, Lord.
That's what they need to start doing.
And then he's going to hug it out with Luchasaurus.
Well,
closest comparison I can make to Kane. The closest comparison I can make to Kane. I'm making a reference to Daniel Bryan and Kane's, Roderick Strong.
That's right. Luchasaurus might be very huggable. You never know.
Who played the therapist in that scene? Who played the therapist during that time? I forgot. They recently said who played that therapist.
Oh, man.
Anyways.
I'm going to go back and watch all that again. That was hilarious.
Yes! 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 He was special.
Yep. Oh. All right. Are we done with Dynamite? Shall we move on?
Yes.
All right. Well, you know what? Hey, I can do it better.
All right.
Exactly. Let's get into SmackDown. Back to SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen. Charlotte Flair and Shotzi versus Damage Control of Io Sky and Bayley with Dakota Kai in the corner. Asuka made her WWE turn by stealing Sky's championship off of Dakota Kai popping up behind her, which caused a distraction and allowed Flair and Shotzi to pick up the win. So Charlotte Flair and Shotzi pick up a great win here, and Damage Control's issues continue on. And now we get a face-off with Io Sky and Asuka, because she's not ready for Asuka.
Nobody ready for Asuka, allegedly.
Allegedly. That is allegedly. I don't have a good button to follow that up with. No, nothing at all. I mean, I can do this.
No choppy.
You think you know me?
Yep. Anywho, AJ Styles spoke with Paul Heyman backstage, but Styles was attacked by Jimmy Uso ahead of their match later tonight. After the attack, Paul Heyman took us on and said, "Call Roman Reigns." Damage Control were interviewed backstage by Kayla Braxton, where Bayley stated that Asuka should be keeping her distance or they would put her on the shelf like they did Bianca Belair. LA Knight came out to the ring. To cut a promo addressing his win against The Miz at Backlash, and was interrupted by Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Knight verbally ran them down on Theory before transitioning into their match. We get LA Knight versus Austin Theory, and LA Knight gets a great win. Austin Theory looks good. Grayson Waller, the pairing Austin Theory look good. The only thing that pisses me off about this match is they keep saying the biggest win in LA Knight's career against The Miz, and I'm like, did LA Knight not face Finn Balor like 2 weeks prior on SmackDown or a week prior? Like that, you know, that's a former Universal freaking champion. That's not a big match like Finn Balor's, Finn Balor. I know The Miz has been around a long time, but God, they were pissing me off. It's his biggest match ever in his career. He beat The Miz. Oh, yeah. I'm like, Michael Cole, did we just erase history? He didn't beat Finn Balor. He didn't beat it. I'm just like, yeah, tell me your story.
They might be trying to erase Finn Balor's history as a world champ for 24 hours.
Told me because he got injured, but hey, you know what? I don't care. It's just like the way they're trying to say, oh, his biggest match against The Miz. I'm like, that is not a career highlight I would want. I'm sorry. The Miz is good at what he does, but I'm like, oh, my biggest match of my career was against The Miz. I beat him at Backlash. Yay! Yeah. You know what I got to say about that?
Tell me. Yeah. No.
Yeah, exactly. AJ Styles was interviewed backstage. Styles said that despite Jimmy Uso's attack, he was still standing and still willing to rip Uso's head off in their match later tonight. Paul Heyman demands Adam Pearce to tell him who was drafted to SmackDown, but Pearce refuses to answer before LA Knight confronted Pearce to demand a rematch against The Miz next week, which Pearce granted. After that, Heyman formally introduces himself tonight before telling him to knock on the door the next time someone tells him Heyman was in the room. Ooh, what's Paul Heyman going after?
Acknowledge me.
Uh-oh. Judgment Day. Catch a promo. We got Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio. Dirty Dom. Somebody please body wash. Remember. Thank you. It might be a good time for what's the hot one? I can't think of it right now. Why? You know, the one that has the whistle. What's the body wash?
Oh no.
What?
Yeah. I can't think of it.
Oh God, how do I go? Like
Spring or what?
No, well, yeah, Irish Spring, but no, the one with the whistle, the one that's famous, the one with the guy on the horse.
Old
Spice. Old Spice. There we go. Give the boys some Old Spice. Took us a minute, but we got there. Yes, we got there. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Exactly. Anyway. We have the Judgment Day in the ring, Dirty Dom, and Damian Priest and Finn Balor. They brag about beating Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to win the WWE Tag Team Champions. This brings out the Brawling Brutes. They're interrupted with Holland saying that despite him enjoying breaking little fellas like Judgment Day, it was Butch who they should be worried about, and the two teams brawled. Of course, Balor gives his hand to Butch like a dummy, and Butch snaps every one of his fingers, which is just a great moment. I'm like, I'd rather take a chop from Gunther than let Butch play with my fingers type of thing, you know?
I don't know how.
Yeah.
I don't know how to decide on that one.
It just sounds nasty. Sorry.
Shut your mouth, you thong wearing fatty!
Hey, how do you know I'm wearing a thong?
We were having too much fun on this live podcast for once. Anyways, this thing worked out for the best. Judgment Day beat the Brawling Brutes, which you figured. After the match, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, and this is the other thing that's pissing me off. They came out to confront the Judgment Day. Lashley said that the Bloodline was crumbling, but the Profits and him were the ones taking over, whatever they are. Like, I don't know what they are. You're introducing us as a stable. You're not telling me what their stable name is. I don't know if they're faces or heels. They just kind of, I don't know, like you're telling me you're doing something with them, but you're not really doing anything. It's like you put them together, but you haven't evolved them to anything. It's just like, yeah, where are we going with these guys? Like, the Street Profits need something to build, and they really need to go heel. And I thought that teaming up with Lashley, maybe recreating the Hurt Business or some form of something, a Nation of Domination. I don't know, but something that would, get these guys to be looked at.
Can't do a Nation of Domination.
They could. They could get.
I'm sure the company owns the rights.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
possible.
Think of the general public. What do they think? We don't know.
Well, they could do it in a different way than the old school. I mean, they could still go with the main theory that they're being held back, but I mean, they could do it in they could do a Nation of Domination and a Horseman theory.
Yeah.
They could tweak it, but still have that. Or they could bring back the Hurt Business. I just wish they would give us something on what they are instead of just Street Profits being Lashley's sidekicks. Like that's Daddy who's like, "Yay, I'm glad you guys went out there and really didn't do a whole lot." Like, I need something. I need more than what they're giving me on this storyline.
Yeah, as a translation, there's too much of a slow burn for you.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. A slow burn is good, but it doesn't feel like it's progressing anywhere. It's just the same thing every week. Oh, we're here to take over. We're here. We're together. We're holding hands, singing "Kumbaya." I don't know what your hand. Were you trying to go for a clap or? Okay.
It's it's that meme with them. It's like a meme where you're with the stick and you're poking. All right, come on, do something.
Yeah.
That's how it feels right now.
I don't want to call it
boring,
but hey, I just wish they would do something to push them forward in some direction that makes me understand what we're getting. We're backstage with the OC, Luke Gallows, the Machine Gun, Carl Anderson. AJ Styles confronted them, basically chewed them out for not having us back in this whole thing. They're the ones going, "We told you not to get in bloodline business." And JJ tells them that if they're not going to help him, then they need to stay out of his business tonight when he takes on Jimmy. We get Asuka backstage cutting a promo on Io Sky, half in Japanese, some in English, and, of course, her catchphrase. And that we all know, nobody's ready for Asuka. So, Io Sky, Asuka also in 2 weeks, I guess, on SmackDown. So I guess in 2 weeks on Raw, we're going to get a women's world title match, Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. And then we're going to get a WWE Women's Champion, Io Sky versus Asuka on SmackDown. So 2 weeks. Why don't we have anything building for the pay-per-view? Finally, the main event on SmackDown. AJ Styles defeated Jimmy Uso, the Solo Uso, on SmackDown. Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman watched from ringside. Jimmy tried to get them to help interfere, but they wouldn't. Jimmy eventually lost. And then AJ Styles tried to escape, but he ran into Damian Priest and Finn Balor, who attacked him and gave Styles back to Solo Sikoa, who hit him with a Samoa Spike. And we ended the broadcast. Is Jimmy back with the Bloodline? I don't know. The story's kind of flattened. I get it. A lot of people say the storyline for the Bloodline is floundering. And I get it. We haven't had Roman on TV. It's kind of getting lost in translation. They're trying to stretch it out as far as
Roman on vacation or what?
No clue officially, but by the same token, it's like you knew he was going to take fewer dates anyways. That was the whole hoopla several months back.
Yeah, since the end of the year, he's taking some time off right now. We'll see what he comes back to. I'm assuming he's going to be back at least for Survivor Series. Or we'll see. I don't know. It depends on what they are doing to head to Survivor Series.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And that was Friday Night SmackDown. Let's get into the Rampage results, which was like, okay. So we got AEW Rampage. We got a Grand Slam World Champion Eliminator quarterfinal match. Penta El Zero Mito versus Jay Lethal, along with Jeff Jarrett, Sanjay Dutt, Saddam Singh, and Karen Jarrett. Because why not? We got to get Jeff Jarrett and Saddam Singh and all the whole group and Karen Jarrett on TV every week. Somehow, some way.
Well, of course, we have to have the Goof Troop.
And these notes are bad because it didn't tell me who won that match. It was Miro, right? Or Penta, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I know it was last night. I watched it quickly. I'm not a big fan of Rampage. It's just kind of a show. I was watching in the hot tub, and of course, usually the notes kind of refresh me, and I can remember what's going on. But then I'm like, I don't remember who won that match. Sammy Guevara came out and cutting a promo, calling out Chris Jericho, and so we had a back and forth with them, and it looks like that's going to lead to a match between Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho at AEW Grand Slam. We got a 6-woman tag match: Akira Shida, Sky Blue, and Britt Baker versus Taya Valkyrie, Anna Jay, and the Bunny. Akira Shida, Sky Blue, and Britt Baker come out on top in another basic match. I guess Tony Khan is getting tired of people saying there's not enough women's wrestling on AEW programming, so we're going to get a bunch of it again for a while until that falls out. What is going out? Oh.
Me from that match.
Oh, we lost something here. I don't know if we're live anymore. That's the sad part. Waiting for things to go. What are we doing? Okay, let's go back.
Apparently not igniting the dynamite.
Can we, work?
It's showing we're still live on here.
Yeah, we may be. Mine kicked me out for whatever reason. I don't know what happened.
All right.
Nothing out there weird. Yeah, it's showing we're still live. So we're still here. And we're back.
Yeah.
I'm back. I see it. Cool. I'm frozen in time. We're a little slow on the back end, but hey, it's okay. FTW champion Hook had a vignette backstage where he stated that he would take his title back to New York, teasing an appearance at AEW Grand Slam. And we'll talk about the follow-up to that because I know you have a question or a statement to make about FTW or the FTW championship, the former champion, and Hook. Anyways, then we got the Flip Magic Dragon Young Bucks of Nick Jackson versus Daddy Magic, Matt Menard, and Cool Hand. Angelo Parker. Young Bucks, of course, get a win. Like always. Not much to say there. Mike Santana did a vignette backstage. Mike Santana did a vignette backstage where he said that you cannot depend on anyone that does not have the same passion or drive. Santana sent a warning saying that he was not here to be a guy. Not here to be a guy, but to be the guy, before saying that anyone coming at him will get run down. And then in the main event, we get Samoa Joe versus Jeff Hardy, because why? I guess we wanted to have TNA flashbacks. I mean, we went back to 2000-something there. What was that, 20-teens? Jeff Hardy, Samoa Joe, TNA repeat. Same story, Samoa Joe wins. I mean, I don't know. I was waiting for, I was waiting for Bully Ray and the Aces and Aces to show up, or maybe Kevin Nash to walk out and with Kurt Angle and Booker T. Maybe they'll replace Scott Steiner for, CM Punk being gone on AEW. They need somebody to fill that hole in the collision. I don't know. I was waiting for the main event Mafia.
Yeah, no.
It was a TNA throwback. Been there, done that. There was no reason for them to face each other. I'm like, Joe's going to kill Jeff anyways. Again, at least, no, I won't make comments. I'll hold back on that one.
When you started, I was leaving it alone because I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go there. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to be a good boy on this one. I'm not doing.
In the case of Jeff Hardy. No, anyways.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
And on that note.
Anyways, anybody have anything they want to follow up with the Rampage? I guess you probably want to talk about the little thing we talked about previously.
With you.
Oh, yeah. You.
Oh, the whole idea of them not... Okay, my bad. The whole idea of them like not showing, not mentioning Jack Perry just because he's suspended. I was like,
well,
they couldn't even show like a little 10-second clip of him getting pinned. Nothing.
Well, he's definitely suspended by Tony Khan. That was Tony Khan's words. That wasn't anybody else. That came from Tony Khan. That he's been indefinitely suspended. Indefinite means forever until they decide to lift the suspension, as far as I understand. And I think, like I told you, I think this is Tony Khan showing his authority. I think he's, regardless of how small it may have been to some people that he just said something stupid that he shouldn't have said on TV, it was kind of the instigation to the bigger issue. If he wouldn't have said that, would we had the bigger issue? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe with somebody else. Who knows? But it was him who initiated it by making a stupid comment live on a pay-per-view. And so I think this is, I can only assume this is Tony Khan basically putting Jack Perry out of the picture, making everybody almost forget about Jack Perry, because it's like, sorry, Jack Perry is good. He's an original. He is one of the pillars of the founding of the company, but he is not a CM Punk. He is not selling tickets. He's not putting butts in seats like a CM Punk would. So, I mean, he does have to understand he's not the big guy. He's still a young kid, still got a long ways to go, and I think this is Tony Khan telling him and telling everybody, we're done with the drama. He goes, I'll erase you from history if I have to. I'll pull a Vince McMahon if we got to go that stiff, So I can only assume this is Tony Khan really showing that, he's done playing.
So he's not the Miz. He didn't come to play?
No. I want to know. I just want to know, why did it take so long for Tony Khan to finally have a pair of cojones to do something?
I think he got
I'd like to know the same thing.
I think he got forced into it. I think he finally got forced into it, and whatever CM Punk said back to him backstage must have put him into some type of stupor where he's like, I have to do something, and I have to take action and grow up here, which is what we've all said.
Or was it Mommy and Daddy Buck that said something too? That were like in Tony's ear, you got to do something.
Oh, the Flippy Floppy Magic Boys. Well, we'll talk about them in the news and rumors, but I mean, who cares? They're oh,
Daddy Omega.
Wow.
I don't even think Daddy Omega. I don't think Kenny Omega is that big or bad as in all of this. I think Kenny Omega is there, but I think it's more the Young Bucks that have caused a lot of the rift and a lot of the issues also on their end. Not to say CM Punk's completely innocent, but we'll get in that in the news and rumors and spoilers talk after. But
all right.
I don't know. Maybe Daddy Khan came down and said, "Look, we're not going to play. You need to get stuff together, or I'll cut off the purse strings." So.
He took a look at the money books.
We know. Well, yeah, it's a big hit across the board. They lost CM Punk. Warner Brothers wanted CM Punk. A lot of people wanted CM Punk. He was their number one seller. Still is their number one seller. And was a lot of the tickets. And if you listen to the audience, he got heavily booed there in Chicago when he made the announcement. A lot of respect for doing what he had to do and doing what I think is the right thing. But at the end of the day, AEW is going to take a hit. And so I don't know if Daddy Khan came out and even said, look, good job on this, but you need to, we're done playing games with these boys. Maybe somebody told him, you need to quit being a fanboy and be a business owner. Maybe Vince called him up and goes, hey, pal, look, I don't like you or your company, but you need to do something. Who knows? But something had to be done. And that's all I can assume is that Tony Khan is really laying it thick and laying it down and showing that, hey, I'll write you right out of the books and everything else.
Real quick, I just pulled this up. We're talking about top sellers, top merch selling. Pro Wrestling Tees for the week at number 1, a live event mystery bag. Number 2, CM Punk original black and white shirt. Number 3, Better Than You, Baby. Number 4, CM Punk all black Chicago shirt. Still top seller, like you said, and he's not even there.
Oh, yeah. He's on. A lot of people are saying it's a work. People are going down this road going it's a work because the stuff's still for sale on AEW shop. And I'm like, okay, you can stretch that, but it's, they're still trying to make their last bit of money on whatever gear they have. So they may still have the rights to sell.
All the time.
They still may have his rights to sell his merchandise until everything's settled. Just because he's fired, there's still a lot of stuff we don't know about how the contract's going to play out. We don't know if there is any clauses, a no-compete clause. We know he got fired with cause. We don't know where that's all going to go. CM Punk hasn't spoken yet. I'm waiting for that door to blow open. His buddy got fired, which was not short, and he already said his 2 piece and 2 cents, which I don't know if we really care about what Ace Steel has to say. I feel like he really rides on the curtails of CM Punk, and that's the only reason he's relevant. But that's CM Punk's buddy, one of his lasting long friends, so, I won't disrespect him too much, but I'm just saying.
He got hungry last time. Sorry.
Well, that or something.
It's
time
to roll on the Collision.
Which brings us to the night, to AEW Collision, which was another show. I don't think it was over the top. It moved forward, yes. So we are looking. We get after the opening pyro, boom bang. Anyways, Jon Moxley makes his way to the ring for our first opening contest. And we had inset pre-match promos from Moxley, who says the difference between the BCC and everyone else, or anyone else, is that when they say anytime, any place, they mean it. Moxley wishes Andretti good luck. We get the International Championship on the line again for the second time this week. Jon Moxley versus Action Andretti. Was there something to be slapped about? Who were we slapping and why?
Andretti, you knew was going to get his ass whooped. I know the claim to fame is that he beat Jericho, but you knew it wasn't going to happen tonight.
He was special.
So it started that they grapple to start, and they go behind from Moxley. They reverse each other in holes for a bit before John gets back into the corner and gets a quick chop on the chest. And Andretti spills out to the outside to recoup. Back in the ring, they get the Greco-Roman knuckle up, but a straight right hand from Moxley breaks that up. And we get a beautiful match back and forth. A lot of great back and forth here. And so let's see here. Where's this? Okay. Andretti garners some major heat for going for the arm trap stomp, but Moxley grabs him in the rear naked choke and out of nowhere and taps out. Match went 11 minutes 11 seconds. And then we get to have that. Oh my God, I don't know what's worse now. Adam, or excuse me. I can't do Vicky Guerrero.
Still around?
I can't go that high.
No.
Well, no, but I'm just like bringing up. I don't know what's worse, him doing the Adam call or Vicky Guerrero doing her excuse me thing. Anyways, we get a Roderick Strong package, and Roddy says he's still here for Adam Cole. Cole has let him down time and time again, and Cole knows what that does to Strong, how alone that makes him feel. But Strong is going to win the tournament and beat Max and become AEW World Champion. But he won't be happy as just he wants his Fwin back. I want my Fwin back. Adam, come back. I need you to play with me. Too much fun. Oh.
Wow.
After that, we get the AEW TBS. We got the AEW TBS Championship again. We're going to get another title match. We got Chris Standor against Robin Renegade. I don't know if this is Rockin' Robin's daughter or the Renegade from WCW's daughter, but hey, we got Robin Renegade. We get a good match back and forth. Chris makes it back to her feet and gets a barrage of offense in the corner, followed by a Blue Thunder Bomb, which gets two. Renegade goes for a running hula kick, but Chris gets her on the shoulder and plants her down face first with an electric chair drop. Pinfall combination applied. Chris rears back to get the leverage pin for a win at 420. We get a lot of El Generico respect over in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
So, anywho, who's El Generico? I don't know the last time he wrestled. Oh, where is El Generico be? Post-match, the Renegade Sisters attack and beat down Statlander. What?
I said he's probably still in Southern California. You're asking where El Generico might be.
Ole!
Didn't he go home to help take care of orphans or something?
Yeah,
maybe we should. Maybe we need to find Kevin Steen too and ask him, because I think Kevin Steen just might know where El Generico is.
Yeah.
Post-match, the Renegade Sisters attack and beat down Statlander, but here's Jade Cargill is back. Cargill in for the save. Cargill hits a big kick and a huge choke slam on the Renegades and stands tall, but then she nails Kurt Statlander. She's here and she's back for her TBS Championship with Smart Mark Sterling. We'll give him the double boost. Renee's in the back with Ruby Soho and Saray, and Ruby is livid that Toni Storm cost her the TBS Championship. Saray will defend her championship at Grand Slam against the winner of a 4-way qualifying match. Tony Schiavone in a sit-down backstage with Claudio Castagnoli and Eddie Kingston. A beautiful back-and-forth promo. Claudio doesn't get it, but Eddie calls him out on the BS. Eddie says Claudio left the Independents without doing business, without passing the torch. Claudio says Eddie's parents wishes Eddie were more like Claudio. Eddie says his parents will watch at Grand Slam. New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Championship on the line. Eddie versus Claudio Castagnoli. Claudio says Eddie owes him a handshake at Arthur Ashe. Eddie will shake his hand, but the better man will win, and the better man will never be you, Eddie. From there, I think we had a match that got changed. I don't know. I think this was supposed to be an 8-man tag. Was that not the original advertisement? Or was it a 6-man tag?
It was 6.
It was? Okay. I thought there was one more in there. No, there was. Because it was supposed to be, because Jay White was supposed to be there, and so was Metalik. Metalik was supposed to be.
Oh, okay.
The other member of the other team. Because I was like, ooh, we're having a reunion of Lucha House Party? Anyways, the Bullet Club, Austin Gunn, Colton Gunn, and Juice Robinson in the ring to take on Aerostar. I didn't know Ford Vance could wrestle, but that's okay. Distello Infinimando.
Don't know.
Yeah, I got nothing.
And then
I got nothing.
I don't know how to pronounce his name. And then we got the man that Pac defied in Gravity. So, anyways, it was great. It was what it was. It was a back and forth match. Eventually, we got Stun Dog from Gravity breaks into a hole, but the Guns tag in. But Aerostar is tagged in. Dropkick to Juice, springboard cutter to Austin, and a tag to Dios. Half Nelson slam from Colton. This is breaking down. And we get a 310 to Yuma on Gravity, leg lariat on Dios, and Juice with the DDT for the pinfall victory at 7 minutes 43 seconds. And your winners, Bullet Club Gold. Yay. I feel sorry for Jay White. Like, there's so much potential. No, there's so much potential there, but I don't feel like I get he's with Bullet Club, but it just feels like that whole group is like, it's brought the Guns up, but it's just kind of. Go ahead.
He needed to go somewhere else, honestly.
I get that, but he's just kind of
somewhere else.
He's just kind of floundering. I don't know if he would. Well, I guess he could have had a bigger scene on WWE, but who knows? Anyways, then we get the weird video package from CJ Perry talking about Miro and how he lost himself when he lost the gold, and Perry will help him regain his former glory. She sat on the sidelines for 2 years, wondering if she had what it takes. I've always said, don't leave till you find out. She wants to manage Miro again, and it was, I don't know. It's a weird, I don't know what they're getting at. It was weird. You left me first. Okay, well, you left him for Bobby Lashley if we want to get technical, but we won't.
Oh, or Dolph. Don't forget Dolph Ziggler.
Anyways, we get a quick video package, which was actually pretty good for the Dark Order. I love this. Don't you want to be supporting the bad guys, right? Support the good guys like us. Great video package. And then we had the AEW Trio Champions, The Acclaimed and Daddy Ass, speak backstage, and their next stop is New York City. They want to bring the biggest scissor party all over the country. Scissor me, Daddy. Yeah.
Oh.
Then we get the return of Ray Phoenix against Angelico in a great match that was back and forth. We get a super kick to Angelico, kick to the spine, goes for a German suplex. Angelico. But Angelico gets out, rolls into a pinning combination for 2, and Angelico rears back and gets a big right hand, but Phoenix retaliates. Serpentico tries to interfere, but Phoenix runs the ropes, kicks him, rolling, jumping DDT, knee to the head, sit out Emerald Fusion for the pin at 5 minutes, 50 seconds. And your winner is Rey Fenix. Yay.
You know, you talk about a lot of TNA flashbacks and whatnot. This would be a Lucha Underground flashback.
Yeah.
They were both made stars at the time.
Underground, so I've never watched Underground, so that's why I didn't have heart attack flashbacks like Jeff Hardy and Samoa Joe. But this is This is at least doable. I mean, a Jeff Hardy Samoa Joe is like having a heart attack, like having flashbacks at TNA, going, "Oh shit, Hulk Hogan's gonna appear on my TV screen again."
Billy,
no, don't say that. Don't say that.
Maybe I am insane. And maybe it's time for you to find out how insane I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
There we go.
FTR calls for the next challenge. FTR calls for the next challenge. I guess they're going to have an open challenge for whatever team wants to show up and take on FTR. FTR, the best tag team in the world today. Period. Not the Flippy Bird Boys. Roddy versus Darby time. Yes, we get Roddick Strong. Adam! Yeah! Daddy Adam. Daddy Cole, but not Michael.
Oh,
anyways,
Lord.
nobody calls Michael Cole Daddy. Michael Cole calls somebody else Daddy, but we won't go there. Okay, we'll just back that up and really go back. Okay, I got a perfect button. We'll rewind that. And we get Roddy versus Darby this time. Darby Allin coming down to the ring, gets attacked in the backstage, gets taken out. And there's Christian Cage and Luchasaurus. Christian Cage asks him, "What? Are you fighting for the world title because you can't win my TBS title?" Yay.
TNT.
Anyway, Darby Allin makes it out the stage with Nick Wayne there. They stumble into the match. Roderick Strong gets the jump. We get a decent match between Roddy and Darby Allin. Like you expect, Darby Allin's going to go out there and give you a banger of a match, or at least try. Or he's going to, give his best Jeff Hardy impression in trying. Eventually, coffin drop attempt, but Strong hits an end of heartache for the 1-2-3, and Roderick Strong advances. Afterward, AR Fox and Nick Wayne have words with each other in the ring. Then we get a video package with Powerhouse Hobbs video package. Hobbs provides proved he prays to no man last Sunday. He stood tall, but the next chapter is still unwritten, and everyone will fall to the book of Hobbs. Not Hobbs and Shaw, but House of Hobbs. we get Lexi Neer standing backstage with the Keith Lee because, we got to give Keith Lee something to do. He goes on, it's about, he's going to be here, and he's on. He says he is the Collision, the one, and then he gives everyone an advice. He tells everybody to run, because that's going to be the new catchphrase coming on until it's blatantly overused and has no more meaning, like a super kick. Or sometimes the but at least LA Knight has brought a different way to do the yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of things that have been taken
better than what
into the ground
at this point.
Yep. What? Anyways, another vignette for the righteous, familiarizing them to those who may not seen Ring of Honor. Tony Schiavone is in the ring and introduces the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. Tony mentions the strap match last week and wonders what's next for the American Dragon. Danielson told his daughter that once she turned 7, he would finish up his career. She is 6 now, and he intended to keep his promise, which means that the time is running out. That said, he will not go gently into the night. He is going to kick everybody's head in, because if this is Danielson's last year, his final countdown, then this will be an epic year of his career. He's calling his shots, and on October 1st, the only match booked for the Wrestle Dream, the next pay-per-view match, Bryan Danielson will face... I don't have a drum roll, damn it. Zack Sabre Jr. Of course, Ricky Starks and Big Bill interrupt. Starks tells him to hold on. Starks had to sit in catering again and wait while the attention is on someone else. Stark feels he got everyone's attention and put everybody on notice. After this past Sunday, he will be doing the things Danielson never could have in his entire career. Starks is going to take and take and take because it is in his nature, and it's what he does. He takes it. Every which way, he will take it. Anyway, he gets it. He will take it.
Apparently, orange really is the new black.
All right.
Sounds a little sus to me. All right, next week on Dynamite, Roderick Strong will face the winner of a Samoa Joe Penta match. Britt Baker will take on will go against Nyla Rose, Toni Storm, Hikaru Shida in a four-way for the women's title contender match. Adam Page versus Brian Cage. Adam Page versus Brian Cage. It's a Page versus Cage, but I wonder if the other Cage will appear with this dinosaur, and then we could have a Page and a Cage and a Cage.
That works.
Just don't put Page between two cages. If I wasn't so far away from this ring. I know, bad jokes. And then Moxley will take on Big Bill. FTR Iron Savage tag match is signed for Collision next week, and yes, it's confirmed Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. on October 1st at Wrestle Dream. Shivani's with Big Bill to talk about Big Bill versus Moxley for the International Championship. Bill says Mox is supposed to be the toughest guy in the company, but he's just going to beat his ass. Yeah. Next week, Bill will beat his again. Ray Phoenix interrupts to complain about Bill skipping the line as he has unfinished business with Moxley. Now, for the main event of the night, we get the next World Title Eliminator semifinal Samoa Joe versus Penta El Zero Miro. And we get a good match back and forth. Two big guys, two just fighters, just going at it, just hammering one another. Joe is down against the bottom buckle, and Penta gets a low super kick for a 2, roundhouse kick to the head, big kick to the spine, cover 1-2. Now Penta is looking for the arm breaker, but Joe gets an inverted atomic drop, and then the senton 1-2. Penta on the apron with a super kick, runs the ropes and dives with a big swanton. Looks like we're going into some overtime today, TV time remaining. Penta goes for another dive, but Joe casually strolls out of the way, and Penta crashes, burns straight through the table, rolls him up in the ring for 1-2. Noah gets a shoulder up, made in Japan, attempted by Penta, but Joe slips out into a coquina clutch. You misspelled that. And Penta has no choice but to tap out at 15 minutes flat. And your winner, and moving on, Samoa Joe, which should be expected. Joe's gonna kill you. And ladies and gentlemen, that was your Dynamite. And we are
Collision.
through all Collision. Yes, sorry. Collision. That was your Collision. And that is where we are now. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Any comments, concerns, or any thoughts that you would like to add into that, gentlemen?
I would, honestly, I still love that Joe walks away from dives.
Oh,
I still get a good chuckle over it.
Joe's about the only person I think who could pull that off. I don't think you could put anybody else in that position that they can just walk.
Every time it happens and he just walks away, the guy either falls flat on his ass or he stands there and waits for him to come back. I love it.
Was it a 15, 20-year gag? Still going strong?
Yeah, it still works. It still gets a good one.
He can pull it off. Well, gentlemen, are we happy with this week's roundup and the television end of it before we move into news, rumors, and other discussions that we want to talk about?
I'd say we're solid. I'd say we're pretty solid.
Mm-hmm. It was a good week. I won't say it was the best week. It was just kind of a flat week. They didn't do a lot of building to any pay-per-view, so we didn't get a whole lot we didn't get anything for Fastlane, and we got one match for Wrestle Dream. And we are already 9 days into September, leaving us with, I think, 21 days left. So Fastlane has an extra week. So Sunday we will have Sunday the 1st will be Wrestle Dream, and then on that following Saturday will be Fastlane. So luckily we won't have back-to-back pay-per-view nights, but it will be another busy week of wrestling because we will have wrestling pretty much every day of the week again.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep.
Are we ready to transition and talk about news, rumors, spoilers, and other chaos?
Yeah, let's shoot
Let's
it.
keep rolling, rolling, rolling.
Oh, wow.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for news, rumors, spoilers, all that other jazz right here on the weekly roundup. We've survived this long. We're doing pretty good. Let me drop our notes off and see how we are doing. No, cancel that. Let's just move it all away. Thank you. Yeah, we're a little bit over an hour into our conversation here, and I guess we should start with some of the big news because it just never seems to end. It just never seems to stop. Every time you turn around, you gotta hear something.
Don't you wish it was ECW related?
Well, yes, no, but it's extreme because it's getting extreme because we're getting tired of hearing it. But anyways, news on CM Punk. Yeah, so no more news on CM Punk. CM Punk hasn't came out and said anything, but we did hear that the flippy floppy whiny boys have come out and said that they would have worked with Punk. That yes, all we asked Punk to do, because we want control over everything, is that they wanted Punk on good behavior for 6 months, and then they would have worked with Punk. It was also said that Punk went to the Bucks and said, "Can we put the past behind us? Let's get something done." But the Bucks did not want to do business unless Punk could behave himself for 6 months. So I kind of get why Punk may have been a little more if these guys are like, "Oh, we need you to behave for like 6 months, and then we'll talk about doing business with you." Like, you don't wait 6 months to do business because you want someone to behave. You do business when the business is hot and people want it. I mean, 6 months down the road while we're waiting for Punk to behave, Punk ain't going to behave, because the more you tell Punk or anybody like Punk in that style, "Oh, if you behave," the more they're going to go, "Oh, really? Hold my beer. Watch me." I'm not talking about Liv Morgan.
The match everybody wanted was Punk and FTR versus Kenny and the Bucks. That's all we wanted. Once.
Yes.
Just once. Let them have it.
Bucks,
even if it's
the Bucks. But the Bucks didn't. They refused to do business unless Punk behaved for 6 months. And again, they fall in that place where I'm like, they're good. I know they were more over in New Japan, but since I've seen them over here, they're nothing more to me. And they weren't anything more to me when they originally appeared in TNA than a Hardy Boy copycat gimmick. And their matches go too long, and all their matches they're not great storytellers. Kenny Omega, I'll at least give, he's a better wrestler, and he has do some storytelling, but the Young Bucks are not great storytellers. They're all about trying to get every move they can into every single match. Yes, they let everybody spotlight and have their moments. I'll give them that. But they're just flippy-floppy, high-spotting. And now, they've got a little power in this company. And you know what? Again, would they be in the position they were in without Cody? I'm sorry. Cody was the main pusher of this movement. Yes, they were there. Yes, they helped out. But I don't think they'd be there without Cody. You disagree?
Here's my thing. This is all I want to do. I'm going to go to this AEW event when it comes up. I'm going to take about 8 different signs and see which ones get taken from me. Because I know where I'm sitting, and it's camera side.
I'm not going to sit here and say Cody didn't help, but I don't know if Cody was the main pusher.
He's the more business sound person out of all of them.
He was the main business person.
Couldn't you also give the same argument for Chris Jericho, who was also doing just as much PR and whatnot for All In, the original All In?
Yes, but Jericho wasn't invested into the business. Like, he wasn't. He was there. He was helping out and he was creating PR, but he wasn't, like somebody who was. He wanted to see this business happen and was there and was excited to see it go, but he wasn't like Cody, the Bucks, and Omega with Tony Khan and everybody trying to get something different coming on. But I mean, again, with the Young Bucks and Omega, without Cody Rhodes, approach the All In, which brought us All Elite Wrestling.
It's really hard to say because they were still going off the backs of their New Japan / Bullet Club popularity, as well as what they were doing in Ring of Honor at the time, and they got a lot of help from Ring of Honor.
Yeah, no. I just don't know if they would have been there because Cody was kind of the brains in that getting things together, and the Young Bucks, yes, and Kenny had their ideas. I don't know how much Kenny I think Kenny was. The more I look at it, the more I understand. I think Kenny was there for the ride and was like, "Yeah, this is a great idea. I want to be a part of it." But Kenny, I don't.
Cody was the one that got a hold of Tony Khan.
Yeah,
he was the man behind those meetings.
Yeah, Tony Khan and Cody Rhodes were how they got connected with Tony Khan. It was through Cody, through different sources that he got him connected with that and the Jaguars and Tony Khan. Yes. And the Young Bucks were big pushers of getting things going. Omega was there, but I've never really heard Omega. Like, he likes it, but I think Omega is just one of those guys that still seems to me like he's just out there having fun, trying to give the best matches he is. Doesn't take himself that seriously. That's why, like, even with, I think Omega could have done something with Punk and not been too worried about it, because everything we keep hearing goes back to Punk and the Bucks. Yes, it gets thrown in the Elite, but it usually seems more about Punk and the Bucks than Punk and Omega. Like, Omega was just kind of there trying to keep everything chill and calm and just like, hey, can't we all get along? But but that's where we are. The Bucks coming out. They're coming out, and the Bucks are saying, yeah, we would have worked with him if he would have behaved for 6 months. And I'm just like, I don't even know if that was a rational thought to even. I just feel like that was a cop out because you knew it wouldn't happen. Because I wouldn't think Punk wouldn't get frustrated with somebody or outspeak, because Punk has always been who he is, and he's always going to speak out. You push that button, he's going to go do a dirt sheet, he's going to go shoot a promo, he's going to go wherever he needs to do it. Is it always the right thing? Maybe not, but we all know how Punk is. You poke the bear enough times, he's going to snap back, and that's just Punk. That's Punk's mentality. That's Punk his whole life. That's not, Punk. I don't think Punk's one of those guys that's not too far from his character. Like, CM Punk and Phil Brooks are almost so much more one and the same than I think we want to acknowledge at times.
Yeah. Hey, we'll leave it at that.
But so there's that. The morale in AEW is supposed to be a whole lot better. Everybody's happy unless you're in the CM Punk. So the morale's better, but there's still a brand split in the sequence of the roster's still split, because there's the CM Punk fans or the CM Punk guys, and then there's the All Friends Wrestling group that don't like CM Punk. So there's still a split, but the morale in the locker rooms is improving. So figure that one out.
They all know, not there, not worried about it. Let them figure it out.
So I know. It's just interesting that you hear, the morale's good, but there's still a roster split because people think Punk shouldn't have been fired. And there's people that were like happy that Punk got fired. And then you hear news and rumors that AEW still has an option of bringing CM Punk back at some time. And I'm just going,
right? I saw that report too.
I'm like, I don't know what to say or do.
We've seen the ticket sales. Have you seen those sheets lately? Since this whole incident?
Sales,
horrible.
AEW ticket sales have dropped dramatically. Their bottom line and dollar value is definitely going to take a pack. How long? It depends. Tony Khan is going to have to get serious, put on his big boy pants, and take offense if you will. Don't care, but he's gonna have to put on his big boy pants and get serious, because it's gonna take him really getting something going to get the fans back invested. He's definitely hurt himself in this, whether he's an innocent bystander in your eyes or whether he's the one at fault completely, or you find him somewhere in the middle. Tony Khan has to bear the brunt of all of it, and in the end of the day, yes, you may said his justification for he had justification for firing CM Punk. But he still has to accept the repercussions of that. Because bottom line, in life, no matter what you do, there's some type of consequences. Now, that doesn't mean every consequence is always going to be a bad thing. But yeah, there's always going to be some type of consequence to actions. And unfortunately, firing CM Punk, is going to cause some ripple effects for AEW.
Oh, for sure.
Do you need music?
Yeah, no. I'm looking at the arena where I'm gonna go, and there's still a lot of dark blue spots.
Yeah. No, their ticket sales are definitely plummeted a lot. People are not. AEW is good in some senses. Like, there's good wrestling on AEW. Granted, storylines are hit or miss. Like, they do some good storylines, but then they kind of let them flounder, and it's just kind of like there's a lot of people on there that
there's
are
no
wrestling.
Consistency.
No. Only, like, MJF has been profiled in a good storyline. There's a good storyline there with Adam Cole and MJF. Then you added in Roderick Strong and the Kingdom in there, and it's kind of like, okay, you're adding something to it to make people guess, but it's kind of getting really bad tone just because Roddick's really good at it. I gotta give him credit. But coming off as the broken-hearted ex-girlfriend in this whole mess. I mean, he's good at the acting. It's just horrible. I mean, I don't think it helps his character, but I mean, he's doing what he needs to because it's just but there's not a. I mean, what other storylines does Tony Khan really have going on that are that are anything?
Yeah.
You mean you're not super stoked for the acclaimed world tour?
Yeah, I'm for that. I'm okay.
I like what they're doing. It's fine. I'm just over the whole scissoring thing. Like it's just like, okay, I've heard it enough. Just get in the ring and wrestle.
I guess when they've already had the biggest scissoring party of the summer back in Wembley, you can't get any bigger this year.
Okay.
Anywho, but again, that's not. I mean, they're gonna have a scissor party, but is that really a storyline? That's just them doing their character bit. I mean, I'm looking at Tony Khan doesn't have the best record with storylines or giving us some
more trios matches.
Do what?
I said they should give more trios matches, but they don't have enough people for that.
What do you mean? They've got 6-man tags on every show every time. Every time I turn around, there's 6 men, 6 women, 6 this, 6 that. I mean, every TV show, it's like they're trying to cram everybody on this show just in some weird matches, and I'm just like, it's not necessary. I mean, Tony Khan does this thing where, maybe it's just something that just needs to make sense. Maybe we'll leave it at that. Like you said, it's just. I mean, I'll give it that, but it's like we complain about women's wrestling on AEW. Now it's like Tony Khan's giving us a TBS title match every show and women on every show, which is great, but it's like you can't necessarily just cram down or just give us the matches. It's like you've got to give us something to bite in, to be invested in, and seeing where it goes.
He did. He brought back Jade Cargill. He gave the fans what they wanted, which was more Jade. That's not what I wanted.
What is Jade Cargill going to do? And why is Jade Cargill? I mean, I guess she gets her rematch, but I'm kind of like, They killed her because they built her.
She's like Goldberg. She
got a Goldberg she's reached her end. Yeah, she's reached her end. I mean, she should be fighting for the world title. So I don't know exactly where this is going. I don't know. Tony Khan does this thing where he gives us women's wrestling really strong for a while. Then he gets bored with it, and then he does something else. He gets bored with this. Where's the House of Black? We got them for a while. Now they're not there. Maybe because if CM Punk got fired, Brody King doesn't want to be there. I don't know. Brody King's a huge CM Punk buddy. Andrade, another CM Punk guy. We don't know where he is.
He was on tonight's Collision. In a back. What match was he watching? He was in the backstage watching someone's match.
Again,
he should be in the ring. He should be doing something.
Yes. How come an Andrade, a Miro, a Malachi Black, a Brody King? Why are they not in this tournament? I mean, why does Tony Khan always give it a predictable tournament? There's the guy that we all know is going to win, and there's a bunch of other people that kind of get scattered in there. We know this is going to come down to Samoa Joe and Roderick Strong, because that's where the storyline is. Mm-hmm. Joe and MJF, Roderick Strong, and Adam Cole. I mean, that's what we're getting, and it's like, don't give me that much predictability.
Well, which matters to you more, story or unpredictability? Because sometimes the story is going to be very predictable, but it can still be good as long as they execute it well.
Yes.
Oh, at one point, the build-up for anything was really good. It's not like that anymore. They don't.
Let's talk about.
That. Well,
let's talk about the 3,000-time TNT champion Wardlow. Where'd he go?
Good question.
Oh yeah, that's right. I haven't.
Where's Wardlow? Right? Wardlow. I don't know. But I mean,
you've heard
Tony
stories
Khan,
that he fires people, but
I get this story.
Them.
I get it's going to be Samoa Joe and Adam Cole, but I would at least like some more guys in there that make it feel like there might be a surprise, or it might be somebody like, oh, maybe Roddick won't beat this guy, or maybe Joe won't beat this guy. I mean, hell, why can't you give me Samoa Joe against Powerhouse Hobbs in this tournament? At least that would make you kind of go, oh, what could happen here? Especially after the big meat beating they had. Everybody likes meat being beat, sloppy meat, and meat to meat and meat.
The meat
AEW
division.
crowd wants they want more meat, you know.
They want, yeah. Got to
I guess
slap that meat.
I guess Wendy's ran out of beef, so now you got to go to AEW to get your meat.
Wendy's, I thought it was Arby's.
Oh, well,
We're not talking about roast beef.
Yeah, Wendy's used to be where's the beef, and Arby's is where's the where the meat or
we
something.
got the meats.
Yeah, we got the meat.
We got the meats.
But they don't got Miro and Powerhouse Hobbs, so they're lying. Anywho.
Yeah.
Fair.
So WWE, we hear about Drew McIntyre got extended until WrestleMania, buying WWE some more time. So we have to see how that goes. Will Drew McIntyre resign? Has he resigned? He did say in India that he's happy where he is and plans to stay in WWE. Some people are saying it's just pressure. He's just saying what needs to be said to make everybody happy. I think they're giving Drew McIntyre something to do. It's just going to be a slow burn to get there. I won't be surprised if he winds up working or teaming or building a stable with the Viking Raiders, which might help the Viking Raiders a little bit.
I'm okay.
And
with
I
that.
think
They need help.
Drew McIntyre being heel would be great right now. The only other person that needs to be heel is Matt Riddle.
I don't know if you heard this one, but there's been talks of AOP is back and been signed again.
Apparently, allegedly they've been signed since January, some shit like that.
AOP has been re-signed, but they didn't start their contract show recently. AOP is back in the company and going to be somewhere at some point. Speaking of people in the company, what about Gable Stevens? Nobody knows what's going on with him. He has been moved off the NXT roster. You cannot find him on the NXT roster page. There's news and reports about
they said he was taking time away to train.
Yep. He's going to go back into amateur wrestling for a moment. You guys get like one more Olympic run, something like that?
Well, he just canceled this other thing that he was supposed to be a part of. And there's something going on about something going on with a head injury, too, that they're saying. That is why he's being watched. But that's interesting because he's under a WWE contract. So, I mean, why would they let him go amateur wrestle? Unless he's pulled out of his contract. And it's not
Triple H, he's the one that pulls those kind of strings.
Maybe. I don't know if Triple H pulls those strings right now. I think Triple H has lost some power. I think Vince has a little more control over that, but I don't know. And, of course, the Endeavor buyout. I don't know who's playing what. Right now, we know Triple H is pretty much – it has been announced and stated in several reports. I've seen that Endeavor has pushed and made Vince McMahon step back from creative. So creative is kind of more in the hands of Triple H without input from Vince McMahon. Endeavor has definitely said in some news and reports have requested, implied that Vince McMahon should and is removing himself from creative. But Vince McMahon is still, a member of that board of the new company, which I think TKO, yes. And he's still in power of the WWE side of things right now. He is under a 2-year contract, whatever that implies. So we will see how that all plays out. This WWE Endeavor adventure should be finalized here soon. I think they said the end of this month, but I forget for sure. I know there's a lot of news and rumors about that.
Yeah, Endeavor will go on with 51%.
Yes.
So we got this.
We shall see how this plays out, but it definitely seems like they're kind of pushing Vince more. Vince is solidly, whether he's being pushed or whether he's finally waking up and stepping back away from everything, seems like things are finally changing. Also in that, there must be a change because the Dudley Boys, Devon, and Bubba Ray have signed Legends contracts with WWE. They have re-signed Legends contracts. What that does, I don't know. They are supposed to be appearing at Impact 1000, so they're going to show up there. It's really interesting that recently Bubba was on with Chris Van Fleet, stating that he didn't see the Dudley Boys getting back together because he didn't see Devon wanting it, but it looks like they're at least going to make an appearance together, and they just recently re-signed Legends deals with WWE. And conflicting reports with Rod Van Dam's story. Rod Van Dam is under a contract with WWE, but WWE not happy with him going to AEW, even though he said they approved of him going to AEW. May have been two different camps in WWE that he talked to one part of the camp that said, yeah, that's fine. The other part of the camp that's upset that he went there. We don't know what's up with RVD. Still rumored to be at WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia.
Now, with RVD, the way I read it was, he said, "What if I got permission from WWE?" So, I mean,
reports
I haven't read an official report.
Reports after that stated that he had gotten permission and was cleared from WWE. And later, now that it's gone back and forth, it came out later that it may have been one camp. So nobody will say if it was like Triple H's side, which I'm assuming Triple H may have gave him the clearance, or somebody from that side. But then the bigger dog was not happy with him appearing on the other brand.
No.
So who knows? Right now, it is looking like CM Punk has a zero non-compete clause. So CM Punk may be on his way to WWE. Conflicting reports there. People still going back and forth that some people there don't like him. Some people do. Some people don't care. I don't think it's going to hurt business. And I think if he has a no-compete clause, you get CM Punk in the WWE, because one of our other old-time favorites, Eric Bischoff, once said, "Controversy creates cash." And right now, CM Punk has the cash cow, and you let that man go on WWE TV and unload on AEW. I can't see Vince being against it. Ooh. I mean, Vince is the way he is.
What if he goes on
yes, Punk is going to be Punk. He's going to go on WWE TV if he does, and unload on AEW and call it what it is. I think everybody in WWE should not worry so much about Punk, because, I'm sure they will set up something. They will get Punk an RV or something, and he will sit in one end, and he won't have to interact with anybody he doesn't want to. And secondly, WWE is not going to put up with the tolerant bullshit that's gone on. They don't have all the bullshit that's going back on that AEW had. They don't have the Young Bucks there that are kind of create controversy, and they were. I mean, it's come out more and more that they were kind of poking the bear too, and getting their friends and their buddies riled up to do dumb stuff. So, but that stuff's not going to happen in WWE, because there's too many people there who are just not going to play those games. Triple H ain't going to play the games. So,
no, they could use it to their advantage, though, and have Cody sort of defend AEW without actually saying AEW.
I don't know. I don't know if he will. I don't know. We don't know what Cody's issues with AEW is. He still hasn't really came out and clarified what his issue with AEW is.
He's got an NDA. He can't say nothing.
But I don't think his issue's really with AEW, the company. It might be with Tony Khan, or, it's like, I don't think it's as a whole.
Yeah, him and Brandy, I heard, had an NDA.
Yeah, they have an NDA. They can't say nothing, but it comes, it's not necessarily a Tony Khan issue. It's somebody else that's a part of the back office group. Yeah. Something Bucks and Cody is part of that fallout from what I've pieced together, but we can't say a whole lot. But it was interesting.
But yet Cody's documentary used the Young Bucks being the elite footage. So it's like, how much heat does he really have with the Bucks?
Well, the issue, I'm not saying it's a heat, but whatever issue him leaving was something with more of the Bucks, not Tony. Like, he loves Tony, but there was just things and other things that were coming. Something happened. It wasn't just that Cody Rhodes wanted to go win the one title he never won. Yes, that weighed on him and was a big, heavy mover. But there was something else that happened in those last few months. I'm not saying Tony Khan's completely innocent, but there's a lot of stories out there. Yes, he used to be the elite footage on his documentary, which is great, and it was good that WWE let that happen, because that was a WWE back programming with A&E. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting the other night. I don't know if you guys caught it, but they Michael Cole referred to Cody Rhodes as formerly being an EVP, which I thought was a kind of funny underline of like, okay, that's interesting. You're just throwing that out there. Oh, he was once an EVP. I'm like, okay.
Well, talking about using his political power, whatever political stroke he had.
What happens from here? We'll see what happens. Still a lot of time before the next pay-per-view.
Well, I don't think you're going to see Punk in the earliest we would see Punk, if there's a no-compete clause, would probably be Survivor Series in Chicago. Now, Punk could come in and be a ball of fire and could do a lot of things for anybody they decide to put him up against. Mm-hmm. What they do, I don't know. If they bring Punk back, it's up in the air. They may save him until WrestleMania. They may make him a surprise appearance in the Royal Rumble. I don't know, but even if I'm Vince McMahon, I think even as Vince McMahon, he would say, and we know this at least about Vince. Vince may not like somebody, but if there's money there to be made, Vince is going to be about business. And Endeavor in there now, and everything. And Punk may not have been the best UFC fighter, but he's still in good terms with everybody in UFC and all those people too. So I mean, it could be a lot
Dana's
easier.
about
and
making money.
Of course, with the TV deals coming up right now, that's really, bring Punk in. They might get the biggest TV deal they did because it doesn't look like Fox wants to renew the TV rights with SmackDown. So that's up in the air. Where will they land? Where will SmackDown wind up? Who knows? But it doesn't look like Fox wants to renew. But I mean, if you get CM Punk in there, Fox might come running with a big old bag of cash. Because Punk's going to be the hottest commodity in wrestling right now. I mean, no matter what he got.
Oh yeah,
for,
definitely.
He's still a hot commodity. So, gentlemen, it's been a weekly roundup. We've discussed, we've talked. I think we've covered every nook and cranny that I can think of off the top of my head. I don't know if there's much more. We know that LA Knight's getting his big push. It looks like he just re-signed a 5-year deal. I don't know. You guys hear any other news or anything else that's interesting, of point of interest?
I've got one on. Since we're here, I'll go ahead and let it know. I don't know if I said it earlier. New Japan. It has been official. We have someone from MLW, the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu, will take on Murder Grandpa himself, Minoru Suzuki. When I find out the date, I will let everybody know, and we'll go live and talk about that when that match happens.
Please do.
Where can they find you live at? Where are they going to find that news?
They could find me on the New Japan Rebound podcast at Spotify. That's where you'll find me.
All right. And then every once in a while, you'll find them right here teaming up with us, either on a weekly roundup or a pay-per-view review or anything else that may be going on. You never know. We may be discussing other things for future endeavors. I've got a couple ideas, so we will talk with the boys. But I guess we're sitting at an hour and a half on this. I don't know if there's much more to cover. So, gentlemen, I think it's time to say, yeah, we know it. Let's get out of here with, let's go old school for everybody real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Value of Wrestling. This has been the weekly roundup. You know who we are. You know what to do. Go ahead. Make sure you subscribe. Ring that bell for notifications. Drop a like, comment, share this video out everywhere. If you want to know more or discuss more with us, go ahead and join us on Facebook. The link is in the description below. And you can click on that link and join us on the Facebook group. Join the discussion there. If you are on our Facebook and you're seeing this video and you've watched to this point, go ahead and subscribe to the Facebook or to the YouTube channel because you're on the Facebook group. So why not join the YouTube channel group? I mean, hey, that's what we're all here for. Wrestling's fun. We have fun. We enjoy what we do. As you can tell, we are out here doing everything and having fun. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I bid you a fair adieu, a good night, and we are out. All right.